On the American frontier with the Weston family and Daniel Boone in the exciting days following the American Revolution.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special news bulletin from CBS World News. A press association has just announced that President Roosevelt is dead. The president died of a cerebral hemorrhage. All we know so far is that the president died at Warm Springs in Georgia.
От Центрального комитета Коммунистической партии Советского Союза, Президиума Верховного Совета СССР, Совета Министров СССР, Центральный комитет Коммунистической партии Советского Союза, Президиум Верховного Совета СССР,
Mr. Stalin, I have been waiting for you.
Frederick, my old friend.
Have a seat.
I am finally here.
Capitalism is when trade and industry is controlled by private owners for profit, rather than the state. Adam Smith is credited as the key founder of capitalism and a capitalist government in the mid-18th century, but ideas of capitalism date back to the 16th century, where feudalistic ideas were not as prevalent, caused mainly by a great increase in foreign trade. During the 18th century, Adam Smith's belief in a free market economy and free trade, as well as the increase of the transatlantic slave trade, led to the idea of the first capitalistic government. Capitalism first emerged in the USA in the early 1800s due to economic and political conditions that forced peasant farming to be replaced by commercial cash crop farming in the North, such as demands for cash payments for taxes and new cash-based distribution of products for farm families. As free land became harder to obtain, people who didn't own farms or workshops were forced to seek work for wages. Thus, there was an increase in class division between firm owners and wage workers, an essential feature of capitalism. The growing system of production for consumers grew to the point that it challenged the slave system for control over the land and led to the Civil War and ended the slave system. After this, the United States became a capitalistic country in which it was difficult for low working class people to gain control of government and gave the power to private industries and workers. The United States in itself is a capitalistic country as it contains many private industries that promote trade with foreign countries and regulate the U.S.'s economy. However, in communism, the government allows the community itself to hold the means of production rather than the private industries. This is not a good means of government, as society in a communistic government can take everything from themselves. Equally sharing the profit of an enterprise among the people is chaotic and can kill a country's economy. Within communism, society is above the individual people. However, in capitalism, individual freedom is above society or industry. Communism always looks to abolish private property. Capitalism always looks to strengthen it.
Communism is a theory or system of social organization in which all property is owned by the community and each person contributes and receives according to their ability and needs. During the 1840s, Germany was the cradle of many radical groups. A new political system was born due to the idea of two of the most influential figures in this era, Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. Marxism is an explanation of social change in terms of economic factors, according to which the means of production provide the economic base which influences or determines the political and ideological superstructure of the country. Marx and Engels predicted a revolutionary overthrow of capitalism by the proletariat, the working class people, and the eventual attainment of a classless society in the world. Though the Communist Manifesto really stressed Marxism as their main theory, it later developed to communism. The first form of a socialist/communist form of government can be seen in France in 1871, when the Paris Commune took place. Even though they were founded on the principles of Karl Marx and Marxism, the word communist did not really exist at that time. Therefore, they used commune to refer a radical socialist and revolutionary government that ruled Paris from the 18th of March to the 28th of May, in, of course, 1871, following the defeat of Napoleon in September 1870. Nevertheless, the Second French Empire collapsed and was soon overthrown. Next was the Great Empire holding the biggest territory on Earth, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, the USSR. The USSR was a socialist state in Eurasia that existed from 1922 to 1991. Firstly, the Soviet Union had its roots in the October Revolution of 1917, when the Bolsheviks, led by Vladimir Lenin, overthrew the Russian provisional government, which had replaced Tsar Nicholas II during World War I. Following Lenin's death in 1924 and the brief power struggle, Joseph Stalin came to power in the mid-1920s. Stalin committed the state's ideology to Marxism-Leninism, which he created, and started a centrally planned economy which led to the period of rapid industrialization and collectivization. During this period of totalitarian rule, political paranoia fermented. The late 1930s Great Purge removed Stalin's opponents within and outside of the party via arbitrary arrests and persecutions of many people, resulting in an estimated 600,000 deaths. Shortly before World War II, Stalin signed the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, agreeing to non-aggression with Nazi Germany, after which the two countries invaded Poland in September 1939. In June 1941, the pact collapsed as Germany turned to attack the Soviet Union, opening the largest and bloodiest theater of war in history, the Eastern Front.
And communism are two of the most influential economic systems to have ever existed.
The question is,
Which one do you choose?